I do have some flamesy stuff. Let's jump to, we're going to steal something from the Pinder report. Item 3. So this came up today. Pinder Daily. Yeah, here we are. Good. Thank you, Doug. Doug, you're reading my mail, you creep.
Oh boy, Doug.
Doug, get your binoculars off my front yard. This
Doug.
is Doug. Actually, I like Doug. Doug's a good handle. You prefer the D-U-G spelling, though?
Doug the dog.
Dig Doug. Yes, this is said article. Now, I don't know who Anthony DeMarco is. To be fair, he probably doesn't know who we are. So that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you write?
AI can write. And if I just put my name, am I allowed to submit?
What would you tell AI to write?
What are the odds the Flames are going to go big game hunting this summer?
Well, we have to define what big game hunting is. Like maybe Connie takes Dave Nonis out on a hunting trip. Does that count?
Well, that sounds dangerous.
Is that like who was the Cheney? Cheney got his buddy in the face. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh no. Oh, no. Aim of the animals. Okay, so here it is. Anthony DeMarco of Daily Faceoff, which is a part of our network. I'm sure that you got to do some stuff to create content in the summer. We're not quite there. And he makes a compelling point. After new contracts for Zeri and Ball and Morgan Frost and signing a backup goalie, the Flames are probably still going to be around 15 to 20 million in cap space. Should Craig Conroy say, hey, we suck at scoring goals. We've got a franchise goaltender. We've played strong structural defense. Should we go dangle 14 million in front of Mitch Marner?
Does it matter if you dangle 14?
I don't think it does, but we're playing along here, Rhett. We're really dying here.
No, but I was
this
curious.
Is your favorite game, the what if game?
I'm fine with the what if game, but I'm thinking it might not be Mitch Marner is the big fish that you can even attract.
What other fish are big out there? That would be my question.
Well, that's exactly, and that's what I was going to ask you was I'm okay. Well, is Mitch Marner elite? I think so. Can he help your team put up some points? I think so. Would he come here for 15 million? I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know.
I would think if he could get 15 million here versus like 3 or 4 other places, this might not be his top pick. Just the window of it doesn't feel to me.
Your taxes, your window, your climate, maybe the new rink helps. I don't know. And I'm not talking Calgary.
Mm-hmm. But there's just more appetizing places.
Exactly. Right? Everyone always like, oh, you talk bad about. No, there's other places out there that are like, this is real nice. Better taxes, better travel, rink's done.
Okay, I got some names for you here.
All right,
I'm doing some homework. So 2025 unrestricted free agents. We're sorting by cap hit. Now, that's not perfect because some of the older guys, but essentially we're going to get better players earlier. John Tavares is coming off $11 million a year. He's got the Leafs pajamas. I think he's staying in Toronto. I think he gives him
nowhere, and I don't want him.
Mitch Marner, 10.9.
What's he worth?
I would think if he sees Rantanen getting the 12-ish, he's going to want at least that. Not because he's better than them, but because that's
okay, so if he's 12 to stay, if I don't know, I think Toronto still wants to keep him.
Yeah.
Can they pay him 12? And if they can, I think he stays. And if he's comparing 12 in Toronto, what are you going to pay him in Calgary to get him to come out here?
Well, your taxes are slightly better, but it is his hometown, and he doesn't necessarily want to go from a team that's
he doesn't have a love fest to come to Calgary. You have to attract him to Calgary with cash.
So you're going to have to pay him more than Toronto by a significant margin.
So it's 14.7. That's 14 million over 7 years. Is that enough for a guy that's going to have 100-some million in his back pocket?
$98 million, I think that is. So that's my math.
I'm just saying that if the Leafs are giving him 12, you're saying, well, we'll give you 14. You can only give him a 7-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
So 7, and you're giving them 2. So 7 times 2, 14 million bucks more. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what drives Mitch Marner. I don't think he's coming here, though. So
I think he wants to stay in Toronto, and I think the only reason they wouldn't want him is if they could get Mikko Rantanen, which is when they asked him if he'd waive. He said no thanks.
And they've already crossed the barrier where they might risk him for nothing. And
they for sure have. Yeah, you've walked him past trade deadline.
Yeah,
like
we'll go sign Besser or whoever else is.
So there we are. Let's get some other names. Jamie Benn, he's not young, 9.5.
He's not coming here, and I don't want him.
Brent Burns,
I like his game, but
Brent Burns 40. Carolina's rolling. Dmitry Orlov's interesting. Now Orlov's not an incredibly sexy name, but he's exactly what the Flames need.
Is that big game? Would you consider that big game hunting?
Well, he's making almost 8. So
Okay.
sticker price feels big gamey, but the name doesn't feel that way. Now, here's the thing about Dmitry Orlov. He's a left shot defenseman, and they need one desperately. On the right side, you have Uyghur, you have Anderson, you have Perek, you have Miramanov, who's still under contract. You have
Where's
Pahal,
Orlov now?
Carolina. He likes it there, I'm guessing. Although he is from Novokuznetsk, Russia, so I don't think it's his hometown.
No, but
he's bounced around a bit.
I would be. I like the idea of Orlov. I think he's a good defenseman.
33, so he's younger than some of these other guys you're looking at.
God,
would you give him 2 or 3 years?
Would he come for 2 or 3?
Is he a guy that you'd feel comfy with playing in the top 4?
Next.
Hey, buddies, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Also, if you could throw in a like and subscribe, it does help us out with what it is we are doing. And check out more at flamesnation.ca.